Good evening, fastball fans, and welcome to Caswell Park here in North Mankato, Minnesota. 2025 ISC World Tournament. The Bear Creek Gremlins out on the field are in hot pursuit of regaining an ISC World Championship title. Standing in their way this evening are the Toronto Batmen. Jack Besgrove is out on the board for the Gremlins, and he'll face a hot-hitting Toronto Batmen lineup. They're going to be led by the McKay brothers, Mason McKay, Mitch McKay, then Tyler Paulai, Andy Skelton, Derek Hyde, Corey Way, Cody Skelton, the designated player, Liam LaForest, and Owen Torrey for Toronto. For Bear Creek, not the New York Gremlins, but Bear Creek Gremlins, defensively, Matthew Waugh, Ben Anoka, Zenon Winters is out in right field. Jerome Remeke gets into the lineup for the first time this week, nursing that arm injury. Cole Evans, Ladislaw Maller-Zook, Brian Avery, Jack Besgrove on the board, as we mentioned, and it's Josh McGovern behind the plate tonight for the Gremlins in place of Nick Mullins. Normally right here, I would refer to my broadcast partner, Joe Todd. Joe is taking a bio break in between games, and there was quite the lineup, and also trying to get us some food here as we're scrambling in between games. But we're ready to go in this one. The Toronto Batmen in purple and gold tops, black pants. The Gremlins, green pinstriped on white. Jack Besgrove, the top pitcher in the world coming into this tournament, backed by some of the best defenders in the game, particularly Cole Evans at short. Keep an eye on his defense tonight. In for a swinging strike to open the game here at 7:26 p.m. Yes, we're late. Yes, there have been plenty of extra inning games on the diamond here today. We've had two of them. One went 11, one went 9. What does that mean? It means really good ball games here at the ISC World Tournament, but it also means that we are late. Joe, welcome back.
Thank you.
You haven't missed anything. Just one pitch. Well, make it 3 because down on strikes. So, no, it's not 3 either. You did only miss one pitch. Mason McKay at the dish for the Toronto Batmen. Take a break with the heavy breathing.
Thank you.
Upstairs from Besgrove to Mason McKay. McKay comes in just a 167 batting average, just 1 for 7. Full count to open the game. McGovern way down on one knee, and he gets Mason McKay swinging here, does Jack Besgrove. Shortstop now, Mitch McKay. Mitch, 500. Called a strike. perusing through the stat line, and it's interesting. Some of the stats that are generated and some that aren't, as we got a printout from Game Changer. And while you get the number of hits and an average, you don't actually get the number of at-bats, which is going to leave us to do some interesting mental math. As that one is fouled into the screen and you hear that funny little sound, that's the mesh rubbing up against our home plate microphone. And rung up on the outside corner. Jack Besgrove gets one McKay brother swinging and the other looking, starting the game here for the Toronto Batmen. Toronto, a pair of big victories coming in, including a big 7-0 victory over the Grand Prairie Pirates a couple of days ago. Opened up with a 6-2 win over the Pegasus Redmen, and that 7-0 victory, as we mentioned, over Grand Prairie. And if you were with us for the prior game, Grand Prairie dropping a 4-3 decision in 9 innings. They had a 3-0 lead from the first. Team Marquez tied it in the bottom of the 7th and walked it off in the bottom of the 9th. Besgrove in for a strike. And swing and a miss. Tyler Pauli chases the rise ball. 3 up, 3 down. Jack Besgrove strikes out the side in the top of the first. We'll go to the home half, and we'll see how Tyler Randerson fares against the Bear Creek Gremlins. Called strike 3, the outside corner. They weren't out of that. Yeah. High in the air, Viavazo comes to get it, and the Chiefs are back to the top of the mountain. The gloves fly. The celebration is underway. Tyler Randerson just finishing his warm-up pitches. Here's the lineup that he's going to face. Matthew Waugh, Beninoka, Cole Evans, Zenon Winters. Eric Ochoa gets back into the lineup along with Jerome Remeke. These two have been the walking wounded the last couple of weeks. Ladislav Malorczuk, Brian Avery, and Josh McGovern doing the catching into the 9 spot for the Gremlins. Defensively, there you see it. Liam LaForest, Mason McKay, Tyler Pauli is out and right. Andy Skelton, Derek Hyde. Around the infield. Yes, my apologies. I'm getting it wrong. Andy Skelton, Mitch McKay, Owen Torrey, and Corey Way. It is Tyler Randerson and Derek Hyde for the Toronto Batmen. For the Gremlins, they had a big opening game against an overmatched opponent, the St. Paul, Minnesota Grey Ducks, a 14-1 win for the Gremlins. That one ended early as both teams wanted to get the heck off the field and out of Dodge before a monsoon blew in on Sunday night. A real good ball game with Team Marquez 2 days ago, or a day ago rather, as the Gremlins 3-1 winners in a nice competitive ball game with the Marquez team. Matthew Waugh, Ben Anoka, Cole Evans. The order is very different here for the Gremlins than it's been over the course of the early part of the season. Normally you'd see Remeke up there in the 2 spot, Anoka 3, and then Ochoa would hit 4. But as I said, some injuries with Jerome Remeke in particular, as well as Eric Ochoa, who's come out of the World Cup with a bit of a leg issue. So neither of those two have played here to date. Matthew Waugh, who's about as fussy with the batter's box as Sean Cleary is with the pitching board. And Randerson pours in a strike to even the count at 1-1. Waugh drops down a bunt, but that is foul, says our home plate umpire, Daryl Helmer. Randerson has done all of the pitching for the Batmen thus far, with 12 innings at least anyway. 1.1 ERA, 14 strikeouts over those 12 innings. A batting average against of just 1.63. Popped up to short right. Owen Torrey will go get that. 2 steps onto the grass for the first out. Ben Anoka in for the Gremlins. Normally during the World Tournament, we'd be wishing Ben Anoka a happy birthday around this time in the week, but because we're a couple of weeks early, we'll have to wait on that particular bit of congratulations. Next week, many of these players, including Tyler Anderson, who's out on the board for the Batmen, will be off to Chengdu, China. We'll finish up here on Saturday evening, and a lot of these guys Sunday will be on planes, whether you're going through Los Angeles or through Vancouver. Strike on the outside corner, and they'll be on their way to Chengdu, China for the World Games. And in a sport like ours, men's fast-pitch softball, that very rarely is featured in multi-sport athletic events. When the opportunity arises, we all in service of the game, want to ensure that our athletes get to be a part of an event like that, to be featured on that world stage. We did not take the decision lightly to move the World Tournament to this particular week, particularly with the World Cup a week ago in Prince Albert, and then last weekend's USA Men's Major. It has been a really compressed season. For the Gremlins, their first event was the Canada's qualifier in Mitchell, Ontario in mid-June. Toronto had participated in the OESA, Ontario Amateur Softball Association, the Ontario Eliminations Tournament a week prior, and they came out of that as the champions, and they'll represent Ontario along with a couple of other teams at the Canadian Men's Championship in Kitchener in the last week of August leading into the Labor Day weekend. Toronto, gold and silver in the last two Canadian championships. But it's been a lot of events this season in a very short period of time for the players, particularly for the players who are on their respective national teams. And Ben Anoka, also a member of the New Zealand Black Sox. And congratulations to Ben and all of his teammates on the silver that they picked up at the World Cup. A return to the podium for the Black Sox after missing it a couple of cycles in a row, 2019 and 2022, in their home city of Auckland. And not even making the playoff round had to be particularly disturbing for the Black Sox. New head coach Thomas Makia, pardon me, turning around the culture as Ben Anoka works a walk. And their goal was to return to the podium. And while it would have been absolutely wonderful for the Black Sox to have picked up that gold medal, they'll take a return to the podium to start. And they'll have their sights set higher the next time around. Here's the captain of the Black Sox, Cole Evans. And he was named the best defensive player at the World Cup, and to the surprise of absolutely no one. He has been a wizard at shortstop for the Gremlins, for the Black Sox, for 10 years. And he's only 26.
Cole Evans with a 1-1 count now. Ben Anoka at first base, one down. Tyler Randerson with 14 pitches thrown so far in the inning.
Evans, 2 years ago at the World Tournament, the MVP. The Gremlins were champions in Denmark, Wisconsin. Last year in Vancouver, Surrey, British Columbia.
Evans following that pitch off to the back screen.
Just to finish that story, the Gremlins coming up on the short end of a 7-1 decision to the Hill United Chiefs. So it's always a battle when those two teams get together. The interesting thing, Joe, is the Gremlins have never beaten the Chiefs in the ISC championship game. A great changeup from Tyler Randerson gets Cole Evans swinging. We've been talking about the Gremlins here, but let's not forget that this is a very good Toronto team. As I mentioned, they won the Ontario Eliminations early in the season. They had a rough qualifier in Mitchell, 0-3 through the round robin, but they did knock off the Chiefs in an elimination game. And Randerson, like I said, will be part of Team Canada heading over to China. He's got something to prove here, and he gets Zenon Winters swinging under the rise ball. The rise ball and the change, which you just saw to get Evans, the two best pitches for Randerson.
Yeah, that rise is just his dominant pitch. He'll come and try and use that probably, 50, 60% of the time.
He's got to make sure, though, that finishes out of the strike zone.
Yeah.
We saw Zenon Winters, his first at bat, just like he was gauging things where he was. His second at bat, hit it hard, but right at the first baseman for Marquez. The third pitch, or the third at bat, hit it out of the park.
Live and learn.
Two guys left from the Farm Tavern. This is one of them. Zenon Winters, Kevin Schellenberg, who we just saw with Grand Prairie, the other. Rob Schweier, who is now in the Legends division. Hard as that is to believe. When did that happen, Joe Todd?
Yes. He must have got a lot older than us.
That pitch looked like it got a bite out of Darryl Helmer, but he's right back there. But Robbie Schweier pitching in the Legends division with the CR Brewers. And they came loaded for Bear this morning. Put up a 12 spot before they got out of the first inning. Winters, a little flare out to short left field. That's going to fall in. Anoka will stop at second base.
Good upper body strength by Zenon Winters to drive that ball the other way. Great jam job by Tyler Randerson, pitching that ball on the inside of the plate.
Winters more than strong enough to fight that off and flare it out to left field. Eric Ochoa, let's see how he's feeling. Pinch hit the other night and lined out to the second baseman. At the World Cup, Joe, Eric Ochoa hit a home run into a dead zone area where they had two fences coming together out in the perimeter beyond the competition fence. High hopper out to short. They go the short way to second and just get a hard sliding Zenon Winters. Some good defense there by McKay to get to Owen Torrey for the out. Scoreless through one. Toronto and Bear Creek just getting going.
This business was opened in 1965 by my father, Ned Medios. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making this suit takes about 6 weeks. It goes through about 12 or 13 hands as it's moved along the line. It's an old-time place. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost. It's a very personal type of business.
Well, Joe, we'll see if Andy Skelton, Derek Hyde, and Corey Way have any better luck against Jack Besgrove than the McKay brothers and Tyler Pauli did in the top of the first. He made pretty short work of them.
Yes, just not too successful with swinging those bats.
Andy's been away from the game, Joe, a couple of years, but came back early and asked if he could get back into the lineup for the Batmen, and has earned his way into the cleanup spot, probably to the surprise of nobody.
Yeah, he's a good, powerful hitter.
Always has been.
Up in the count, 2 strikes already. Nice pitch in the outside corner of the plate.
Just twist that off the outside corner. A lot of the JDT team is here scouting, even though it's their day off. Chases upstairs and make it 4 in a row on the strikeout tally. Derek Hyde, catcher for Toronto.
Stands are starting to fill up tonight.
We saw this last night, too, and it was interesting. It was so hot on the weekend, Joe. I think it actually kept people indoors and away from the park. It was just too hot to sit out here during the sunshine. And then you had the rain roll in the evenings, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, just
nobody wanted to come to the park.
No.
But last night, tonight, and yeah, we've seen the Legends guys come in, and that helps to fill up the park. But there's a lot of good crowd here, local crowd. Tonight, there's a ground ball. That's just foul. Remeke looked just fine fielding that one and throwing it. He had a big ice bag on his arm. I ran into Jerome the other night coming up this. He was coming up the stairs with the rest of the team and chatted with them as they came up, and Jerome had a big ice bag on that arm.
Still must be a little sore.
Well, I'm not going to volunteer to stand in front of a 87-mile-an-hour drop ball from Marco Diaz to see how it feels. I'll just take his word for it that it hurt. But he's been the recipient of that twice. Got a little payback, though, in Prince Albert, must be said. In for a strike from Besgrove. Two and two to Derek Hyde. Tavistock, Ontario. Derek's home. Feels like we've been watching Derek for most of his career. Swing and a miss. Make it 5 in a row for Jack Besgrove. And, Joe, this is starting to look like the Friday night in the Mitchell qualifier. Jack Besgrove struck out about the first 14 or 15 of the Batmen that particular evening.
Does have quite the pattern going here tonight.
Misses upstairs. Tried to get the changeup in, but couldn't pull that down. And that one misses downstairs. So 2-0, falling behind to Corey Way. Corey on the one bag tonight. Can often find him at third base, but over at first tonight. And 3-0.
Wow.
Not often do you see Besgrove fall behind, particularly with 2 out, usually when he bears down. Working tonight with his national team partner, Josh McGovern, behind the plate. Here you see Josh down to one knee. And just off the outside corner.
Well, good start for Batman to get a base runner.
Cody Skelton, the designated player, the founder of the Toronto Batmen 10, 12 years ago. And that one is enough to catch the outside corner. The bleachers, as we said, filling up, and there's plenty of lawn chairs. If you look past the first base dugout, you can start to see the sea of lawn chairs. It's the same down the left side. Big cut comes up empty, does Cody Skelton. And Joe, we said it last night for the Hill United Chiefs. We'll say it tonight here for the Bear Creek Gremlins. The fans come out. They know the top teams, and they come out to see the top teams. The Torontos, the Bear Creeks, the Drillers, the Norsemen. Last night, the Chiefs with Kegel.
Very educated fans in the area, staying close to our game.
Swing and a miss by Cody Skelton. A walk to Corey Way, the only blemish. 7 up, 6 strikeouts. Besgrove, a little too much right now.
Peligro Sports provides the essentials needed to give your team an edge on the field. Our brand is rooted in creating a unique experience tailored to the specific needs of your team to ensure your performance is at the best level to execute plays. At Peligro Sports, we rally behind our athletes and understand their fight to take their game to a dangerous level. Visit our store at 2200 Amsterdam Avenue in New York City or see us online at peligrosportsnyc.com. Thanks.
Jerome Remeke will lead it off for the Gremlins.
Really patting down that batter's box.
I honestly thought, Joe, he's got the small elbow guard. I almost thought he'd have something a little bit heavier on that front arm. Maybe he feels like that inhibits his swing too much, but I remember Patty Shannon used to go up there with what looked like one of those arm guards that the bomb diffusers would wear. In for a strike from Randerson to even the count at 1. Remeke, Mallerzook, and Abry. Josh McGovern will bat 4th if the inning gets that far. And, well, no worse the wear there. Jerome Remeke lines that one through the 3.5 hole, and he's aboard with a leadoff single.
Really pulled his hands through on that pitch, driving that ball through that big gap between second and first base.
Ladisho Malarzouk. That just misses upstairs. Hyde asking Darryl Helmer where that missed. Time at the plate. Helmer just walked away. I assume somebody called time, but everybody just stood up. Good drop ball, but was it foul tipped into the glove? It was.
Yeah.
Remeke, who was on the move, hit and run with Remeke on the go, Malarzouk at the plate. And he is normally, Joe, a very good contact hitter.
Yeah. Good call by the coaching staff of the Bear Creek Gremlins.
We had Greg Leather up here last night on behalf of the Bear Creek Sports and Entertainment Organization, talking about them getting the 2027 ISC World Tournament. And I ran into Scott Cornelius, the head man at Bear Creek, and I know he wants this to be all about the organization, not about him. But I just said congratulations to Scott, and he said they're so excited about this. They really can't wait to get to work on it as soon as they get back.
I'm sure they'll do a great job.
Up and into Malarzouk. 3 balls, 1 strike now. Remeke out at first, and now time from Malarzouk. Randerson and Hyde, Joe, it seems like are having a little bit of difficulty getting on the same page.
Yeah.
It's Ty's out there on the board, and it's taking him a long time to go to the set position there at the hip. And that's fouled off down the left side this time. Malarzouk is one of those guys who could foul off, I think, Joe, 12, 15 pitches given the opportunity.
Yeah. He's a tough out.
Randerson gets the ball thrown right back in by a courteous fan. Remeke out at first. He's on the move again. Throw down by Hyde, and they got him at second base.
Great throw.
Strike him out, throw him out, double play. Great throw from Hyde, right on the money. Remeke slides right into the tag.
Great tag there by Mitch McKay on the other end, too. Perfect
Right
timing.
into it, yep. Bang, bang, and right into it. So Brian Avery just that quick, now batting with 2 down and nobody aboard. Avery the other night just 0 for 2 against Max Montero and Team Marquez. But there's a strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
The third game that Avery's played first base.
Well, and again, it's a different lineup, and we remarked on that at the time, too, that we'd never really seen a Gremlins lineup with that particular combination of players, and because of the injuries to Remeke and to Ochoa, and they're just testing it tonight. I took a peek, Joe, at the lineup for the next game with the Drillers and Ostrander. My curiosity was Riley Makia in the lineup, and the answer is no.
He's still
nursing a knee that he injured planting to make a throw in the losers bracket final of the U.S. Men's Major last weekend. And I talked to him earlier in the week. I said, how's it feel? And he said, not very good. He was hoping to go tonight. And if not tonight, maybe later in the week. But by the time you get into the sharp end of the tournament, Joe, it's hard to take somebody who probably is hitting the ball fairly well. And even though Riley Makia might be the best hitter on the planet right now, if you've been off for 2 weeks with an injury, this one is lifted up over near the fence. I heard somebody yelling room, but not enough to track it down.
Yeah, it'd be a very tough decision to insert him into that spot.
On the other hand, if he is healthy enough to swing a bat, boy, that's a potent one to bring off the bench in a key situation.
Yeah. You want to put that to use for sure.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out to Brian Avery here in the second inning. And gets him to chase at a drop ball down. It skips in. Hyde tags Avery on the shoulder. And a strike him out, throw him out, and a strikeout to end the inning. A good one for Tyler Randerson and the Batmen.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
Joe Liam LaForest to lead things off. A late addition to the Toronto roster as they had a couple of changes as suddenly guys' vacation plans changed and they were unable to make the trip. Liam, a veteran for several different teams, including the former Elmira Expos, and making the transition here pretty seamlessly into the Toronto lineup and into the starting lineup in left field.
Very good stick. Well-experienced ball player. Been through some real good games over the years.
LaForest fouls that one off into the night sky, or almost the night sky.
I'd have another good half an hour, yeah.
Still 24 degrees here in North Mankato. Caswell Park, it's been a beautiful day for ball, Joe. That oppressive heat that we had through opening weekend has dissipated. And hopefully the rain and the nasty weather that we've been getting overnights here is gone with it. Big cut comes up empty. Jack Besgrove continues to be a buzzsaw through the Toronto Batmen lineup.
Awfully tough to hit against Besgrove. His stuff is just so explosive. Late movement, got one of the best changeups on the go right now. Got a rise ball, got the full arsenal in his back pocket.
There's the changeup from Besgrove, dials it down to 57, and Owen Torrey chases that pitch off the plate. And that one misses upstairs. Besgrove with the lean, the delivery, and the strike. Just to the outside corner. Can't get the call out there from Daryl Helmer. Owen Torrey, the 9 batter in the order for the Toronto Batmen, sponsored, of course, by the Skelton family. And speaking of the Skeltons, want to give a shout out to a longtime friend of mine, Joe, Brian Jerry McGuire, watching back in the Toronto area. Called strike 3 on the outside corner.
Has played on the force of her a few times.
Yeah, he has been a member of the Coburg Force. Jerry's got a 60-plus team together, and they're going to, I'm sorry, Jerry, I forget exactly where you guys are going, but you're going to, I think it's one of the NAFTA championships for 60-plus, or maybe it's ASA. But they're headed in early September, or October, is it? I guess it's October, because he was talking about could he come to the OCC, and then they've changed their minds on that. But they'll be in, I guess it's October, off to a 60-plus championship. So we'll wish him and the team good luck. A lot of talk about adding another division, a 60-plus division here at the ISC. And we would love to hear from players and teams about commitments for that. I don't know about next year, but maybe in the future.
Yeah, something we're going to look at.
I think we also got to be looking at the U20 and the U23, somewhere in there, a youth division as well.
Yeah, we got to get that development going. So we got that feeder system.
But all Jack Besgrove. 9 batters to the plate, 8 strikeouts. The only blemish thus far, a walk by Corey Way. Mason McKay getting his second look, but I don't need to tell you that he went down on strikes. Two and two out here, top of the third inning. The whole Toronto bench, Joe, right up on the fence. It's swing and a miss. McKay down on strikes. Besgrove picks up his 9th strikeout of the game, facing 10 batters.
This business was opened in 1965 by my father, Ned Matiosi. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making this suit takes about 6 weeks. It goes through about 12 or 13 hands as it's moved along the line. It's an old-time place. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost. It's a very personal type of business.
If you look in the right side of the diamond down in the first base coach's box, that is Mr. Ned, Varm Matiosian. We want to thank Varm for the ongoing and continued sponsorship, the ISC network. We always appreciate Varm and bringing us Peligro Sports as well. There's a look around inside Caswell Sports Park here. I bought one of those red hats. Some of the swag that's available here, and the merch from Sandlot, who do a great job on the ISC souvenirs, and some of the young fans that are here this week too. And there's a live shot and a look at the crowd that is here for this number 2 versus number 7 matchup.
That's a great shot. That's almost our view from where we're sitting.
And I heard Toronto was in contention for yet another Best Dressed award, but ultimately that ended up going to the Georgian Bay Giants. There were some real strong contenders. I really liked the teal that the Southside Stingers had.
Yes, I was sure.
That might have been my particular choice, but nobody consults me on fashion anywhere. Not at the ballpark and certainly not at home. Josh McGovern, the 9 batter in the order for the Gremlins. And Joe, I've written on my scorebook here, Bear Creek, not New York.
When you write it, you'll say it.
Josh, last year with the Hill United Chiefs, he and Blake Hunter, there's no official trades, but they swapped teams in the offseason. That's in for a strike. That one misses upstairs to McGovern. It's a great opportunity for Josh and Jack Besgrove to work together both on the club circuit here in North America. They play together in Japan, and obviously that's going to benefit the Australian national team when it gathers as well.
Yeah, that's going to be a big plus.
That's in for a strike from Tyler Randerson. Full count to Josh McGovern.
.41 pitches from Randerson so far. A little bit hot.
Chopper on the infield. That'll be foul on the left side down to Andy Skelton. It was an elongated first inning for sure for Tyler Randerson. He would have piled up more of those pitches in the first than he would have in the second, but the 2 strikeouts
in the second regrouped him.
Yeah, to both Mallerzuk and Abry. One hopper to Skelton, sidearm sling across the diamond to Corey Way. And I hear Corey Way might be battling a bit of a knee problem, Joe, so that's why he's over at first rather than playing a more athletic third.
Yeah, they want to make sure he keep his bat in the lineup. Over the years has some big clutch hits for this team.
He does. Started his career with the Elmira Expos. It's back to the top of the shop for Matthew Waugh. Randerson and Waugh will be teammates by this time next week. This is that time of day, Joe, where while the lights are on, they're not really at full effect yet.
No.
It's
got to be really tough.
Can be tough for the hitters. This one misses down. Although I had somebody confront me today, not confront, but talk to me today about how they've been listening to. Sorry, I'm distracted by a stretcher being wheeled in, and I hope whomever that is for is okay. But the theory was, and you and I have been talking about it all year long, that the hitters are ahead of the pitchers. And the theory from this particular punter was the yellow ball makes a big difference. And to a degree, yes. Certainly when the white ball would get worked over by the pitchers and would attract the dirt later in the game, I can absolutely see that the yellow ball, while it does the same thing, the yellow optic of it is still more visible to the batter than a white ball or a white ball that's been turned brown.
Yeah, a lot of people told me that same story, and then they say that the laces appear a little bit more evident too.
Well, the red laces on the yellow background compared to white laces on a white ball. So yes, I will buy that theory that it helps. Is that the only reason? Absolutely not.
No.
Ball 4 to Matthew Waugh. Ben Anoka to the plate, and Ben walked in the first. See the pitch here to Matthew. And that's up. That's over the letters. That's a ball.
Yep.
Fouled straight back by Ben Anoka.
Randerson up in the count, 1 strike. I think you want to get too much of the plate against Ben.
Well, and he's going to be in a hole 0-2. A bluff start by Matthew Waugh off the bag. Boy, Joe, I'll tell you, it is great to see how all these Legends guys get along. Sure, they're competitive on the field, and some of these teams have loaded up to take it pretty seriously, but off the field, boy, they're all congregated together. They're all in different uniforms. They're all telling each other how great they used to be.
Shook hands with Bobby Smith from the Texas team downstairs.
Had a great conversation with Craig Snyder, who was the top pitcher in the Legends division a couple of years ago. Run into, gosh, half a dozen guys or more that we always saw on the circuit in years gone by, and now they're back here in Legends.
Yeah,
and
great to see.
It absolutely is. It's just fantastic to see them. Of course, we ran into the St. Thomas Legends team this morning at Happy Chef, the breakfast diner.
The flame has not burnt out yet. It's still kindling.
Called strike 3, the outside corner. Ben Anoka will retreat back to the dugout. Cole Evans now with 2 down, and Matthew Watt first. Cole swung over a real good drop ball from Tyler Randerson.
4 strikeout for Randerson in 3 innings.
Now, unfortunately, our umpire has no sense of camera placement. On the move, throw down again, and out.
Derek Hyde, great toss 2 times now.
I think Matthew's argument is going to be that the tag was into the midriff. That's exactly what he's doing. He's pointing at the midriff. Greg Leather has come to Matthew's rescue to get him off the field. Varn Matiosian was out there as well. But another strong throw from Derek Hyde indeed. Cuts down his second Gremlin of the night. Well, scoreless. We're going to the 4th, Joe.
Yes.
We're moving along.
A metal roof lasts a lifetime. Thousands trust Metal Roof Outlet to install stylish, stone-coated metal roofing that looks just like traditional shingles. Make a smart and worthwhile investment for your home with Metal Roof Outlet. Contact us through metalroofoutlet.com to get a quote for a roof replacement anywhere in Southern Ontario. Because when you trust Metal Roof Outlet with your roof replacement, it may be the last time you ever replace your roof.
Well, Mitch McKay this time, and Tyler Pauli and Andy Skelton.
Well, we'll see if Batmen have a little bit better luck. Second time through the order now. Got a hold of that pitch, just fouled it off the screen.
Joe, do you bunt? Maybe you said that while I was asking the back row
No.
patrons just to stay
Yeah.
seated so we can actually see the field.
No, I want the boys to see some.
You want to swing?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking bunt just to get a ball and play and make the Gremlins do something. It's like we've transferred brains or something.
Yeah. Later on in the game, yeah, I agree with that, but we're still, it's the second time through the order.
Well, good cut there from McKay as he fouls it straight back. Nobody has been able to square one up, not even foul.
No. And yet we're still tied at zeros after 3 complete innings.
Well, it's Ty Randerson. Hasn't quite matched him pitch for pitch, but he's done a good job at getting the outs, assisted by Derek Hyde most capably. There was the changeup, and McKay kept the hands back, but fouled it into the screen. And a foul tip at the plate. Terrific future for this Toronto team with the McKays.
Derek Hyde. Owen Torrey got lots of good years ahead of them.
Yeah, they've got some good young players here. This is kind of the second generation here for Toronto now. Some of the original guys like Cody Skelton, of course, and
Mitch Pringle.
but there has been some turnover, and they went, I won't say big budget necessarily, but they went with some, and down on strikes goes Mitch McKay. Second time tonight, can't get the bat off the shoulder for the third strike. They went with some out-of-region players for a while, trying to bolster the squad. And then they had to rethink about it. Cody and the Brain Trust sat down with Mike and Cheryl, and they decided let's feature the Ontario players.
Try and build local.
And build local, and they've done that.
Yeah.
And they've had more success. There's a look at the lights here and the weather. Down to 22. Hopefully we're not getting any more rain here tonight. But it is still humid. You're absolutely right, Luciano. There's still humidity in the air, without a doubt. Rise ball underneath it is Tyler Pauli. Tyler came over to Toronto, Joe, from Bear Creek as the Express remade their team in the offseason. David Galino, really the only carryover there. And I think this is a fresh start for Tyler Pauli.
It's a good addition for the Batman, too.
He absolutely is, and it's versatile. He can play infield. He can play outfield. They've got him in the 3 spot in the order. He can provide some pop. He typically does hit for average. And right back to the screen. There's been a few of those, without a doubt. But nobody's been able to square it up when it's crunch time.
Well, we'll see if anybody can break that row of goose eggs.
Going to run out of ink with all of the strikeouts here tonight. Change up kept the hands back, but then waved at it as Jack Besgrove kept that pitch elevated. We'll follow taller Pauleye right into the dugout. This pitch just stays up, keeps going, and he kept the hands back, but by that point, it's up at eye level.
It's awful tempting when it leaves his hip.
Doesn't get the call. And gets this one over at 57 miles an hour, Joe. Just dials it right back down for a strike. Jack is typically in the high 70s. He'll get it to 80, 81. And that's hard enough.
Yeah.
But it's the movement that makes Jack Besgrove special.
And the late movement, too.
That was a little curve. But his rise tails one way. The drop typically tails another. And as you just said, it's the late movement.
Just breaks about maybe a foot in front of the plate.
Gets this one past Andy Skelton. 12 on the night so far, through 4. Again, that walk to Corey Way, the only blemish so far for Jack Besgrove, just dominant right now.
Dreamcatcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Joe Cole Evans will return to the plate for the Bear Creek Gremlins as we go to the home half of the 4th inning. It'll be Evans, Zenon Winters, Eric Ochoa. Evans was at the plate when Matty Waugh was caught stealing to end the 3rd.
Our umpires crew for tonight, we forgot to mention them. Behind the plate, Daryl Helmer from Airdrie, Alberta. First base is Steve Gallagher from Cobourg, Ontario. And at third base is Robbie Duran from Osceola, Wisconsin.
We run into these gentlemen just about every morning as they are the same hotel that we are at. Always great conversing over coffee and breakfast. Evans was down on strikes in the first, swung over the top of a good drop ball from Ty Randerson. That misses up and away for ball 1. Talked about Cole being the best defensive player at the World Cup, the MVP of the World Tournament. 2 years ago. I'm not quite sure, Joe, what's left to accomplish for Cole Evans. He has a gold medal from the WBSC World Cup in 2017. He's got a pair of ISC World Championships, an MVP award here.
Sure, you'd love to add a little silverware or something from China very soon.
Yeah, he would. I'm sure he would take that. Actually, he's just got the one ISC World Championship. The 18 and 19 ones were before Cole came over, I believe. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's a member of the perennial champion Mount Albert Ramblers back at home in New Zealand. Holds off on that one. And speaking of Mount Albert Ramblers, saw Megan early here this week. Her son Jaden Stratford with the Kegel Black Knights and doing a fine job catching for Kegel.
Randerson caught Evans on a rise ball last time through.
Thought it was a drop.
Okay.
He swung over it.
Could have been. Yeah, that's right.
It was the one in the dirt. Full count.
See what he comes back with now. Full count.
And fouls that one off. They tried to go with the drop on the outside corner. Have to be so careful with Cole Evans. Can take the ball out of the park on a moment's notice. There is a slight breeze blowing in from center field, but barely much. Well hit, deep left field. LaForest to the fence and caught at the fence. And I wonder, Joe, if that little breeze coming in held that up just enough, because Cole Evans skies this one. Great job by Liam LaForest. He didn't even get to the fence. At first glance, I thought he was closer to the fence. Great shot by Carol Tereste. Zenon Winters after that long, loud out by Cole Evans. Winters singled through the right side, his first trip up, and he's going to punch this one to left, but LaForest is right there to track that down. And 2 good defensive plays by Liam LaForest for the first 2 outs here in the 4th.
So far, it's been the Liam LaForest inning.
Erica Choa. Wow. It feels like it's a long day today.
It has been.
Erica Choa hit the ball hard to short. They went the short way to erase Zenon Winters, who was on base at the time. And this will be a charged defensive conference. And now Darryl Helmer is going to go break up the tea party. First pitch hammered by Ochoa, and it actually ricochets off of, but you can really tell that leg is bothering Eric Ochoa. He just barely trotted down to first.
Not going to push it.
No, and he's going to get an immediate pinch runner. You can see him limping when we cut back to it. He hit that so hard, but you see the limp there from Eric Ochoa. And Abiardo Penuelas on to run. You may see Penuelas even get a swing, Joe, depending on when this at bat, when this turn in the order comes up again, too. Jerome Remeke, he singled through the right side as well. And the key here, Joe, is no panic for Toronto. Just get an out. You've got your 2 outs into the inning. You just need to get an out somewhere.
Remeke gets it on the barrel. He has a tendency of going right up the middle.
And a surprise bunt to everybody, including the broadcast booth. And the thing with Remeke is, though, Joe, he handles the bat so well.
Yeah.
He's absolutely capable of doing that. Saw him do it in the World Cup. On the move again. They're going to test Hyde again. And again, he's up to it. Throws out Penuelas. Derek Hyde putting on a show behind the plate. And all the Toronto Batmen are out of the dugout for high fives.
Great evening for Mr. Hyde.
How confident are you in your organization's security posture? If your answer isn't 100%, you're not alone. Most organizations aren't doing enough to protect their data, and they know it. With Armitage technology, you can stop worrying about IT security issues so you can focus on moving your business forward. Our experienced staff monitor and maintain your IT infrastructure to keep your business running. Visit us at armitagetech.com and make your technology work for your business.
Well, there you see it, Joe. It's zeros across the board other than 3 hits for the Gremlins. But you know what you could put up there is 3 times caught stealing by Derek Hyde. And he's got some Armitage technology defense going for him.
And another good reason why he was selected to also make the trip to China.
Yeah, I'm real happy about Derek Hyde getting that national team opportunity. That's with all the catchers in front of him, that's been a long time coming, but great to see him get that opportunity and some younger players, along with some veterans, making the trip over to Chengdu, China for the World Games. And as often the case, you make a great defensive play and you immediately get to come up to bat. I don't know how the odds work for that, but it just does. And a hello to our good friend Peter Labardius, an unexpected appearance here. I guess the hockey game got canceled in St. Paul. 2 hockey games got canceled in St. Paul.
Oh, no.
Well, that's
or 2 to watch.
unfortunate.
Maybe an early start.
No, we don't have those here.
No.
Called strike 3. This strikeout run continues. Make it a baker's dozen on the game here for Jack Besgrove.
Besgrove with 67 pitches so far, as we're now touching the 5th inning.
How many have been strikes? Just about all of them. Not just the first pitch, Joe. How many all for strikes?
46.
46 out of 61. 75% of his pitches are strikes. That's ridiculous. Corey Way, the only base runner for Toronto, on a walk in the second. To the screen. Bypasses everybody. On the swing, and no doubt about it. One ball, 2 strikes, and I have to talk to Josh McGovern sometime, Joe, about going down to one knee like he does on certain pitches. And that one fouled straight back to the screen. What he feels the advantage is that he gets, is it getting lower to the ground to handle the drop? I mean, you're not doing that when there's runners on base, because there's no way that you'd be able to throw from that position. So I don't know. I don't see what the advantage is. I've seen major league catchers doing it, but I've yet to hear anybody explain to me what the advantage is.
I wonder if he just goes down on drop balls.
And that's the thing, right? Like, is there something that you can pick up on that? I'm sure those guys, and you see it there, those guys aren't going to make that kind of mistake of only doing it on a certain pitch. That was a rise ball. Although I remember, and this goes back ages ago, a catcher for one of the big teams would always say a certain phrase whenever he called the changeup, and people picked up on that. Besgrove wanted that call on the outside corner, and just a little shake of the head from Darryl Helmer, just to let him know, not a strike.
Full count to Corey Way.
Besgrove composed as always on the board, and fouled off. A good cut by Corey Way at that offering. You see Besgrove will be looking down at the wrist. The Gremlins are using a one-way pitch comm type device. It's not an earpiece, but there's Jack looking at his glove hand. He's got a device on his wrist with a display, and the display is giving him the pitch and the location from McGovern. And Corey Way works the second walk of the evening. He's looking into the dugout like, come on, fellas, it's that easy. Why can't everybody do something here against Jack? What's wrong with the rest of you? Cody Skelton, who has come up for some big moments for this club over the years. Take you back to Mitchell, the Canada East qualifier on Sunday morning, trailing the Hill United Chiefs It was a high-scoring game. I forget the exact score. Might have been 5-4. And a 2-run home run from Cody late in the game put Toronto out in front. And they would go on to win that game.
That was an off weekend for Hill United.
They have not lost a tournament since.
Yes.
Wanted to go after it, but couldn't pull the trigger. Hill United won their own tournament, won the Hallman tournament. Well, I guess no, sorry. They lost in the final in the U.S. Men's National to Bear Creek here. So they've been in the championship game of every tournament since. Big cut.
Got to have a little bit more of a level swing.
Well, Cody's always had that little uppercut to his swing. Chases the rise ball upstairs, down on strikes. 14 on the evening for Besgrove. That pitch, Joe, started at the numbers on the Toronto jersey and ended up over the eye level. That's the elevation that Jack Besgrove gets on his rise ball.
That pitch coming in at 74 miles per hour.
And the rise, of course, is always going to have a little bit less velocity on it than the drop ball, just because of the way that they're thrown. Some fouled way out of play. Just a reminder that following the conclusion of this one, whenever that might be, we still have the Northeast Drillers and the Ostrander Norsemen. One more game to go this evening. Change up from Besgrove.
Just missed.
Just is the operative word there. Liam LaForest. Well, even higher than I thought. That was above the letters.
Yeah.
So it missed. Don't know about just, but it missed. On the move was pinch runner for Toronto. And again, we don't get all the changes up here. That's Adam Long pinch running for Corey Way.
Good move to put him in motion.
Yeah, Toronto just trying to shake up the Gremlins just a little bit. One and two. Two down here in the inning. Long, the pinch runner for Corey Way. Called strike three. The crowd does not like that one. Take a look at it here. Up and in. There's a great shot out from center field. You see some of the humidity, the heaviness in the air around the lights. That white tent is where we are located on center right in your screen. Looking down onto the fields. Set to face Ty Randerson here in the bottom of the fifth. It'll be Jerome Remeke, Ladislaw Malarzouk, and Brian Avery. 6, 7, 8. Remeke coming back up after Penuelas was caught stealing. Penuelas was pinch running for Erica Choa. Derek Hyde 3 for 3 tonight, throwing out base runners.
That will certainly help your confidence.
Remeke was one of those caught stealing back in the second. He had singled, and after it was a strike him out, throw him out with Ladislaw Malarzouk at the plate. That one downstairs and skipped in to Hyde. There's some action in the Toronto bullpen, Joe, but it's obscured for me as to who it might be. I don't know if you can see around the corner. That one's in for a strike to Remeke.
We need some of those concave mirrors.
Yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it? That would be helpful. Oh, and a high hop over the glove of Owen Torrey, or he might have had that on the dive, Joe. We'll never know, but it took a bit of a high hop. Watch it here in the replay. Torrey's headed in the right direction, but it goes right over him as he dives for it. Kind of looks back in frustration. And we get a pinch runner on for Remeke. Is that Mumu? It is. So Tawny Mumu. And he can fly, so we'll see if the Gremlins try it one more time against Derek Hyde. This one's lifted out to left. LaForest is going to range over. Mumu tags and easily makes it up to second base, and you get a taste of just how fast Tawny Mumu is right there. And left early, called out. Wow. Boy, isn't that something?
Well, first base umpire Steve Gallagher from Coburg.
Boy, I can't remember the last time I saw a runner called out for leaving early on a tag up.
Yes.
That's certainly going first to second. You get that the odd time when it's third to home.
Mm-hmm. It's been a great ball game.
just off, well, just on the outside corner. Either I was too early or Daryl was slow, one or the other. Probably me. Probably me. Big cut by Avery. Went after it.
Randerson up in the count now.
Randerson a long time to the set position. And a drop ball off the outside corner. Time by Hyde at the plate. I don't think he liked how long Randerson has been taking the last couple of pitches, Joe, to get set.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to give Tyler the opportunity to regroup.
Well, these two have worked together for quite a long time, too. Well aware of each other's tendencies.
Swing and a miss. Took something off of it. Got him with the changeup. Tyler Randerson and Jack Besgrove going toe-to-toe. This is a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel.
This business was opened in 1965 by my father, Ned Matiosi. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making this suit takes about 6 weeks. It goes through about 12 or 13 hands as it's moved along the line. It's an old-time place. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost. It's a very personal type of business.
Number 9, Owen Torrey, and then back to the top of the shop. Jack Besgrove, 15 outs recorded. Joe, all of them by way of a strikeout. 2 walks, both to Corey Way.
Superb performance by Besgrove.
Rise ball, and underneath it is Owen Torrey. It's literally been the Besgrove and McGovern show all night long. You don't need the other 7 guys.
And not far behind, the Randerson Derek Hyde show.
Yeah, Derek Hyde has been real special tonight. Great to see, as we talked about earlier, him getting the opportunity to shine, getting a chance with the national squad. Fouled off. I've lost complete track of how many foul-offs there have been tonight. Toronto just cannot square up a ball. It's not like they're way behind, or he's not blowing it by them all the time. They just can't square it up.
Yeah. Again, you just don't face a pitcher of Jack Caliber's caliber every night, though, too.
Well, when you're the number one guy in the world,
Yeah.
there is only one number one. So, Toey down on strikes. Mason McKay back to the top of the shop. Yeah, it's a great crowd here, and you look up here on the upper deck in the left too, and people all pressed up to the rail. Everybody wants to see Jack Besgrove. And he is not disappointing here tonight. There's another one, hard swing, but it's into the screen. We did find out, Joe, it was Dustin Veenhoff, the lefty, throwing down in the bullpen. And there's a guy who has had limited success against this Gremlin squad, too.
Yes.
He's the definition of that lefty who spins the ball in, doesn't throw hard, just hits his spots. And
personally, when I see Veenhoff, I like to see him as a starter, not as a reliever.
I think you would say that of a lot of the pitchers. And there's the changeup from Jack Besgrove again. And I'm sure, I mean, he saw that hard cut, a little bit late on it, but it was a hard cut into the screen. Came back with the changeup. He and Josh McGovern are working so well together right now. That one misses upstairs. And again, fouled off to the screen. A good battle here by Mason McKay.
Besgrove, 93 pitches so far.
Well, you're going to run up your pitch count when you're striking everybody out, because you're not just going to get everybody on 3 pitches. You're not getting any ground balls. You're not getting any 1 or 2 pitch at bats. Change up again. And felt like he just threw the bat at it just to try and make any kind of contact. Joe, do you not take a look where Remeke is and where Avery is? And if you're McKay, I know it's too late now in the count, but do you not? And if you're Mitch McKay on deck,
yeah, I would
do you look and
consider
see where those guys are? And why? Like, and
sure.
It feels like I'm having an out-of-body experience with you, but I'm up here advocating now for a bunt. I can't believe it. And if you've been watching us for years, the Statler and Waldorf show here with Blair and Joe, you know I don't like bunting. But here, I'm thinking, with a guy who runs or the guy who's coming up, maybe that might be not a bad idea. This one is laced foul.
Oh.
That gets down to Tentville. That's been the first ball all night that somebody's actually squared up.
Almost fair.
And it was still 15 feet foul. And swing and a miss after a great at bat, but down goes Mason McKay. Mitch McKay. All right. Remeke is at the bag, maybe a step in front of it. Abry, same thing. Foul back straight to the screen. He's got 58 feet of room to drop down a bunt. Besgrove is a left-handed pitcher. If you drop that down the right side, it makes it even harder.
Yeah, he's going to stop and turn.
That doesn't guarantee it's going to be a base hit.
Gives
But
you
it
that.
certainly enhances your chances.
Yes. Mitch McKay got caught looking twice.
Swings at the rise ball upstairs, 77 from Besgrove.
Got to stay aggressive in this situation now.
Well, as you said, yeah, he's been caught looking twice. Get the bat off the shoulder.
Good pitch location by Besgrove.
And that one just off the plate.
Good job by McKay to get back in the count. All even now at twos. Besgrove with 102 pitches. Just broke the century mark.
And floats in the changeup up on the hands. Talk about an impossible pitch to deal with. Jack Besgrove is on fire tonight. 18 strikeouts through 6 innings.
Peligro Sports provides the essentials needed to give your team an edge on the field. Our brand is rooted in creating a unique experience tailored to the specific needs of your team to ensure your performance is at the best level to execute plays. At Peligro Sports, we rally behind our athletes and understand their fight to take their game to a dangerous level. Visit our store at 2200 Amsterdam Avenue in New York City or see us online at peligrosportsnyc.com. Thanks to Jose and Peligro Sports for their support of the broadcast program.
Well, Josh McGovern will try to set the table, Joe, for the top of the order. Josh grounded out to Andy Skelton in this same spot back in the third inning. ball one for an opener.
Randerson with just 75 pitches as compared to Besgrove with over the 100 mark.
Well, we were just chatting in between innings. Just the 5 strikeouts on the game through 5 innings for Randerson. He's got a collection of fly balls and caught stealings to help him out along the way.
3 great throws.
This one drilled to left and foul.
See, Liam LaForce was waving it to the left, too.
Was he doing the Yastrzemski down there? The reverse Yastrzemski? A long strike off the bat of Josh McGovern. Whatever that pitch was, you might want to put that one away. Called a strike on the inside corner. Run the count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Every pitch, Joe, you can just feel the tension ratcheting up here.
Crowd getting a little bit more into it as the game progresses.
And time by Randerson as he didn't feel comfortable. There's a lot of Toronto supporters here. The Coburg Force Legends team, is sponsored by the Skelton family as well. And they're all over there in the Toronto bleachers side.
Good to see some support.
Oh, Hyde wanted that pitch badly. Thought they had McGovern rung up. He's asking Darryl Helmer where that pitch missed right now. Full count. Little high. And ball 4 to Josh McGovern. There's still some bodies left on the Gremlins bench. Lucio Redemar could run here, and Cody Gibbons comes on to run. Well, that's interesting. Gibbons mostly pitches, but he plays in the Blue Water League, actually, in Ontario. He's lived up in the Wyerton area most of the year.
Yep.
Wyerton Owen Sound. And plays during the week on that Georgian Bay Giants team that they have in the league up there. And he hits all the time, so it's not like he's never run the bases before. With that said, I don't see him testing the arm of Derek Hyde anytime soon. Off the screen.
Third walk given up by Tyler Randerson tonight.
But here's what magnifies it, Joe, is now you're in the top of the order again, and the third time through, Matthew Waugh, Benanoka, Cole Evans. Waugh handles the bat extremely well.
This will be a huge test for Tyler Randerson.
The Gremlins aren't big believers in bunting, but they will late in the game. Well, that makes it a little bit easier when you give them the free base.
Yeah.
That's a mistake. Wild pitch from Randerson, and even with the ricochet off the mesh, Hyde no chance to get Gibbons. You really almost need a strikeout here.
Yeah, this is pretty well the same situation that we had the last game. Would you lay down the bunt here and advance him over to third base so you could score on a fly ball?
Well, yes. Short answer, yes. Especially now with nobody out. I think there was one out the previous game, but I was still even in agreement with you, however reluctantly back then. And yeah, Kyle Smith, hell froze over. The Leafs won the Stanley Cup, I know. And Randerson just struggling here, Joe, this at bat against Matthew Waugh to find the strike zone.
Needs to regroup. I think if I was Derek Hyde, I'd call time and go out and have a word with him. Just calm him down, relax him.
Corey Way is shouting that encouragement from first base, but I agree with you, Joe. That might have been worth a visit. And ball 4 to Matthew Waugh. Not the end of the world here because it sets up a force on any base. But boy, you're in a tough part of the order here now with 2 runners on and nobody out. You've dug yourself a hole here.
Yes. Just
Anoka, Evans, and then Zenon Winters. Anoka 0 for 1, got caught looking in the third, walked in the first. Ever dangerous at the plate. And if you're wondering, he handles the bat very well and could bunt, but isn't. And this one gets through Hyde. That's a pass ball.
Yeah.
He's got to make that catch. You can't let that one go through your glove.
Now, this is where you load the bases up?
Yes. Yeah, you might as well just put Ben Anoka on now. There's no point in pitching to him without a force.
Yeah.
Lee Jacques out for the visit, but I don't see any sign here. Now Corey Way maybe is asking about that very thought, but I don't see any sign yet that they're putting him on. Well, yeah, he just held up the hands and said 4. So that's going to be the auto intentional walk, which is now the rule here in the ISC. So Ben Anoka will make his way to first. And it'll come down to Cole Evans. Cole flied out to left in the 4th, down on strikes in the 1st. The fly ball to left would have been more than deep enough to score Gibbons or any other runner. Infield is in. Here's the game, this at bat. On the corner for a strike. And time by Randerson. He wants to run through the signals again. You've got Matthew Waugh. You've got the same view that Matthew Waugh has peering over the shoulder of Tyler Randerson. A great pitch.
Great pitch.
On the outside corner, and nothing that Cole Evans could have done with that.
Randerson just mixed up some speed there too, just cut something off.
And now we'll get a visit to discuss signals. Here would be one of the advantages, Joe, of one of those PitchCom one-way communication devices. That's been the topic du jour this week. Legal this year in USA Softball. They were not last year. Greg Leather is wondering why it takes such a long time to talk about signals, but that's why Daryl Helmer is out there. Whatever it was, Daryl thought it was pretty funny ultimately at the end of the conversation.
Randerson on his 90th pitch of the game.
Way foul out of play. And advantage Ty Randerson here at 0-2. And they're lucky enough that somebody threw that one back in for them in a hurry, because apparently that was going to be Ty's favorite. Evans digs in. Randerson sets at the hip. Swing and a miss. A great elevated rise ball inside on the hands. Outstanding pitch from Tyler Randerson.
Great clutch pitch.
Excellent elevation, inside and tight to Cole Evans for the strikeout. And now Zenon Winters. Singled in the first, lined out sharply to left in the fourth. And laced out to right. Here comes one. Getting the wave around the throw at the plate and sliding safely is Matthew Waugh. And Zenon Winters comes out huge for the Gremlins, and they take a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the sixth.
Good clutch hit from Zenon Winters. But the bases loaded in this situation in the bottom of the sixth inning.
Hard hit ball. Cut off by Way. And Matthew Waugh just beats in the relay throw. Lee Jacques out to visit again with Tyler Randerson. And if that's it for Rando, and it is, that's a whale of a ball game from Tyler Randerson.
Yes.
He gets a big round of applause coming off the fields. We're going to take a break as we make the pitching change, but here's that sharp hit by Zenon Winters.
Sometimes people worry about asking for help because there can be a stigma around mental health problems.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
They might believe that asking for help means admitting that something's wrong.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Some people worry about how others might see them.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Asking for help means that you want to make changes and take the first steps towards better mental health.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
We should celebrate the courage it takes to speak up and make changes.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Getting help is part of recovery.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Mental health isn't something you need to keep to yourself. Talk to a friend. Trust your teammates. You're not alone.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
The first steps may be the toughest, but knowing where to look for help is a good start. Community mental health organizations like the Canadian Mental Health Association, or Mental Health America offer resources and programs that can help you. Visit cmha.ca or mentalhealthamerica.net to find a branch in your community.
And remember,
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Joe, we wondered if Penuelas would stay in the game if this position came around again in the batting order, and it is indeed Abelardo Penuelas. Eric Ochoa had that single in the fourth, and you could just tell the way that he made his way down the line that he was in some considerable distress.
Yeah, just not 100% yet. And especially the situation now that they scored runs too.
Well hit to right. Anoka tags, throws to second, and make it 3-0 for the Gremlins. A productive at bat for Abelardo Penuelas. Jerome Remeke. And some breathing room, Joe, for the Gremlins.
Yes. Helps to pick up that couple of insurance runs there.
Well, that gets you out of the bleep and blast, or the bloop and blast territory. I don't know about them stringing together 3 hits against Jack Besgrove. 2, then you might have been able to scratch that out. Just the way he's throwing tonight, this seems like a Herculean task for Toronto. Look ahead to the top of the 7th, and they've got 2, 3, 4 coming up. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but let's talk about the probabilities. More foul balls, and that lands in lawn chair row just on the other side of the fence. Veenhoff. Little change of pace, just flared on in a no man's land by Remeke, his second hit of the night. Beg your pardon, his 3rd hit of the night. So whatever pain he'd been feeling in the arm the last couple of days, Joe, certainly not inhibiting his ability to make contact. Hasn't stung the ball like he normally does.
Getting contact, though.
But he is making contact.
Yeah.
Maller-Zook.
All right, I got the pitching line for Tyler Randerson. Now, it's not amazing, but he did a great job. 2 runs, 4 hits, 6 Ks, 5 walks on 92 pitches. Nothing alarming, but he did a great job.
Doesn't he still have Ben Anoka, though?
Oh, yes, he'll still potentially be
Anoka scored. Anoka's in, right?
Anoka scored, oh, yes. So that'd be 3 the run. 3 and potentially the other one.
But you're right. I mean, Ty Randerson threw a whale of a ball game here. It come unraveled a little bit in the 6th.
The walks hurt him.
That walk leading off to Josh McGovern coming around to score. And we talked about it coming in. This was going to be the 3rd time through the order, and that's tough.
Yeah.
This is a very, very good lineup. And just past the diving glove of Torrey. Here's the throw cut off, and Winters comes around to score. So that will now close the book on Ty Randerson as the Gremlins here extend this lead to 4. Give an RBI single to Ladislaw Maller-Zook. And the 9th man to the plate here in the 6th. As it took them 6 innings to get to Tyler Randerson, but they've done it convincingly here, helped by a couple of walks, without a doubt. But a whale of a ball game from Tyler Randerson. The Gremlins won't be, they'll welcome the day off tomorrow for them. Actually, no, they're going to play tomorrow. They had their day off. That was yesterday. Yeah, they had their day off. But they've been tested here, this game and the one previous against Marquez. Avery swings through. Avery circling the bases. 2 more are in, and a double for Brian Avery. And Joe, it is pretty much come to ashes here for Toronto here in the 6th. As he picks up 2 RBIs.
For the Gremlins, 76 out.
This all started with Josh McGovern about 20 minutes ago, it feels like. And 6 runs later, and that's a big run out at second base for Bear Creek.
Yes.
That one is skipped in, and it moves Brian Avery. Edges him a little bit closer to the run rule walk-off. I don't think this is how anybody honestly thought this particular inning was going to go for Toronto or for the Gremlins, quite honestly. And in for a strike. That'll make the fence. And Pringle came on to catch, too, I see, when Dustin Wienhoff came in. Called strike 3. The Gremlins jump out for 6 in the bottom of the 6th. We'll go to the top of the 7th. They'll need 3 to finish this one out. A whale of a ball game right up until the moment the Gremlins stepped on the gas.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
Tyler Pauli, Andy Skelton, and possibly Mitch Pringle, or if they bring back Derek Hyde. Toronto playing for a little bit of pride here now, Joe Todd in the 7th.
Yes. You want to try and find something for your next game.
A positive takeaway. There's a strike on the outside corner. 2-1. And fouled off. So let's run the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pauli, a 2-time ISC batting champion, 2018, 2021. Swing and a miss. Make it 19 now for Jack Besgrove. Andy Skelton. Big cut comes up empty. Boy, Andy Skelton was trying to hit that one back to Toronto.
Wanted to get that first run.
And this one misses downstairs. Joe, I want to take you back in time into another country, but on a similar night to this, maybe a little bit warmer. 2012 in Colombia. And a dark sky beyond the park. And Andy Skelton hit a ball halfway to the moon to score a run, a home run for Canada in that game, and to get a win over Venezuela and qualify them for the following year's World Tournament or World Cup in Pan Am games, if my memory serves.
Great memory bank there.
Called strike 3. If nothing else, Jack Besgrove has tied the record for most strikeouts in a 7-inning game.
The catcher, number 67, Pringle.
That's currently held by about 7 or 8 pitchers. And they're going to ask if Pringle went around. No, says Steve Gallagher. Pringle, this is his first at-bat against Jack Besgrove tonight. Swing and a miss, comes up empty. Still landscaping out in front. And in for a strike right down West Howard Drive. Middle. You see it there on the strike tracker. Besgrove, a pitch away from adding to his already prodigious track record.
Pringle trying to choke up a bit.
Upstairs, can't get him to chase. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Jack Besgrove chasing the record book.
Besgrove with 117 pitches.
Just off the outside corner. Let's run it to a full count. Mitch Pringle at the plate. One of the second-generation Toronto Batmen players. Opportunity to play spoiler. But it won't be. Jack Besgrove sets a new ISC record with 21 strikeouts in a 7-inning game. It's a no-hitter for Jack. Corey Way, 2 walks, the only base runner of the evening for Toronto.
The first 6 innings, a great ball game.
It was a tremendous ball game. The Gremlins run away with it in the bottom of the 6th. But some history made tonight here at the ISC World Tournament. Joe Todd, Blair Setford, Luciano Lafrano, Carol Tereste come back with us in a few, and we'll have the nightcap for you, the Northeast Drillers and the Ostrander Norsemen. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you on the flip side. Called strike 3, the outside corner. They weren't out of that. Again. High in the air, Viavazo comes to get it, and the Chiefs are back to the top of the mountain. The gloves fly. The celebration is underway.